Welcome to Reality on Ground, real people, real issues. Today we are tapping into tourism. It is a Friday, and while you're starting your weekend, the question is, where are you going this weekend? What are you going to do? What is your plan like this weekend? Okay, going for bridal showers, there is some drinking for the boys and the girls. You're just going to travel out of the country. But do you know what your country holds? This is a conversation we're going to have. With me, I have the Deputy CEO of UTB, Mr. John Sempebwa. Good morning, Sebo.
Morning to you.
Nice to see you, Sebo.
My pleasure.
And I have a travel enthusiast, Eric Intalo.
Good morning. Good morning,
morning.
Vince. Good morning.
All right, let's start with the simplest thing. We are at Gullu Royal Museum. This is one of the few initiatives that have come out from Ugandans who want to preserve our culture, our stories, and our origin, where we start from. Mr. Sempewa, you're in UTB and you're in tourism. What triggered you to start up this kind of initiative?
First of all, I was inspired by the State Minister of Tourism, who says, Honorable Kiwanda, says we must tell our stories.
Yes.
It is us to tell our stories. We cannot wait for Momzungus to set up museums, to set up. It is us. So with my small earnings, I said, when I retire, I should have a place where for years people will come and see the story of my people, 800 years of my people. So it's about good leaders like Honorable Kiwanda who inspire us. And of course, when you travel the world, like in Brussels, the biggest attraction is a story of a pissing man.
Yeah.
When you go to Dublin, the biggest attraction is a museum of Guinness.
Yeah.
Just drink Guinness. People have decided to tell
Here it is a Rolex.
their stories. And that's a story as well. So everybody who can, invest in telling your stories, and you will retire happily.
Okay. Well, how long did it take you to do research? Because there are lots of people here. If you can follow me, we have, this is one of the guys you actually called an icon with regards to our economy. Yes. Who is this guy? Now that you're the guy who did.
So this is a point where I teach students about the beginning of financial, economic management in this country. This guy is Alidina Visram. Alidina Visram changed the way we do business. We didn't have a word for a shop in our culture. There were no shops. So he comes in, sets up a shop on Loom Street and calls it a dukawala. Dukawala is the Indian word for shop.
Yeah. Now
we called it a duka.
Dukawala.
Dukawala. Now it's unfortunate that Idi Amin changed the name of that street to Bokassa. Then Obote, disagreeing with him, changed it to Loom Street. But this is the guy after whom Loom Street was initially named. So here students learn that we didn't have money. This guy comes in, we have rupees, then the shilling, then the... So students spend about 30 minutes here learning about the economic history of Uganda.
And behind him, there is another phenomenal guy, gentleman in green suit. And who could that be?
In the green suit, we teach students about medicine, the history of our medicine. That is Sir Albert Cook. Sir Albert Cook and the wife were very instrumental in setting up, I think, Mulago and Mengo Hospital.
Yes.
And it is at his home that Sir Sekabaka Mutesa II was actually born.
Wow.
So here we tell students not only about our history, but we also move and show them the herbs we used to use, how we used to...
Back in the day.
We used to rely on trees. So there's another 20 minutes here of medical history.
Next to him, I want these three people here.
Now here we discuss the political beginnings of Uganda. That is this guy we buried at Kololo, Musazi. Musazi Ike normally would be the one people would be calling Baba wa Taifa because he started the first political engagements, UNC, but he was a bit played by the Botes and stuff. But we have him buried at Kololo Airstrip. There are only two people buried there. Him and the late president, I think Yusuf Lule. So here, many students have never heard about Musazi. There are 15 minutes of discussing political history of Uganda.
Well, let's talk about domestic tourism. Eric Intalo, if you could fall in play, is our domestic tourism affordable?
To an extent, I would say yes. On the other, I would say no. The thing is, there are factors that influence domestic travel.
Like?
One, the disposable income. abantu bawansi, you and I know, if a person is earning about 300,000 a month, basic salary, you do not expect that person to spend about 200,000 to go for a tour. Impossible. However, there are other facilities or opportunities that they can tap in. Like? Now, for instance, if I would ask, how much do you charge to come to this museum?
Students here pay 3,000.
Wow, wow.
And adults pay only 5,000.
And
wow.
How long is the experience?
A 4 hours journey.
Wow.
A 4-hour journey into the history of central Uganda.
Now,
wow.
Besides, you know, we have the whole, we have this understanding that when you talk of tourism, we are going to the national parks. So I think we need to change that mindset and shift away from the wildlife or national parks, the gorillas, and say, hey, for a domestic traveler, depending on how much I have, there are other opportunities I can tap in. One, we have the museum. You know, lately we have people flocking the zoo.
Yes.
We have people going to Jinja, rushing to Jinja and coming back. People go to Mbarara and come back. So there are very many other opportunities. Don't look at the wildlife.
Just that. Yeah.
Yes. So depending on Osobora, that is it.
I hear you.
Yes.
Mr. Sempewa, he taps a little about mindset. Now, you as someone at the policy level of UTB, and you're at the center stage of this entire campaign in the country, what would you say about the mindset? Because he brings a very valid point here.
As a historian in leisure, the word Muzungu, if you know what it means in central Uganda, it means somebody who loiters, you know, you know. So, and near Masaka, where my mother is born, there is a saying, Tiakajanja, Akasuza, Owe, Mpugwe, Ematanga. So, this thing, Kali Kajanja. Kali Kajanja. Now, there are factors that led to that. The roads were bad. I'm telling you, driving from here, say to Teso, will take you a whole day. But there are things that have changed that we must recognize. The roads are good. There's peace. I heard the president say the other day, for the first time in our history, we have peace corner to corner. For the first time in 800 years, Uganda has no war.
Yes,
so
800 years.
This is the first time ever we have no war.
Wow.
All right?
I hear you.
So when we had war, when we had insecurity, when we had no roads, you could not talk about tourism. Tourism is a high-level good. But now, we are at the beginning of tourism transformation.
Yes.
And you've had campaigns like Tulambule. They are private initiatives that we must recognize. They are the mountain slayers, a group of mountain slayers. Then there's that big guy, Round Bob.
Yes.
Oh, you see, the tour operators don't have packages for Ugandans. And I'm not blaming them because they're businessmen. When Ugandans get that mindset, you're going to start seeing packages for Ugandans.
But why can't the tour operators have packages for Ugandans themselves?
They are business people. If they put packages, if they had put packages out 10 years ago, they will not make that money because traveling was not one of the top things on your mind. You had rent, you had what, but we have a middle class right now, which is saying, wait a minute, what have we been doing for entertainment? Going to the bar. Now, they have had that enough.
They're done.
It is no longer a big issue that I'm in the bar. Thank God we have overcome that.
Yes.
So they have smartphones. They're middle-class people who don't want to be squashed in these bars anymore. Yeah, they keep inquiring, where can I go, where can I go, where can I go? And this is a good time for investment. Instead of going to buy land in Nigeria, 15 decimals like this 200 million. Invest. Invest. Take your 200 million shillings, buy a plot of land somewhere near the lake, build your 5 rooms, and retire peacefully.
5 rooms.
The future is very bright for domestic tourism.
Wow.
Because A, the middle class is growing, This congestion of town, people are getting enough. You go to Kalangala on a Saturday, you'll see what I'm talking about.
Yes, I hear you.
So the picture is improving with time. Of course, the prices.
That's where, because the prices are exorbitant. As a Ugandan Mufuna Mpola, when I look at it, I'm like, will I afford this? Even the pricing, the ones that are being put online, they're in dollars.
But I think also the dollarization of our travel. One, chogedeke cha dollar. Umuntu wa bulijjo, when I come and you tell me I have to pay $5, the currency triggers me off. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I want to know the shillings you're talking about. There are people in Chikobo who have money. Let me tell you, we host people, we get people going to Ngamba. They have the money. It's not that people don't have the money, but people have the money. Two, you talked about the middle class.
Yes.
Lately, you know, the travel maniacs, a group called the travel maniacs, and the
machetas,
exactly, cocktails in the wild.
Yeah, cocktails in the wild, yes.
Way back, we used to have the silent discos in town. Today, you hear people taking them to Murchison Falls, Fort Poto, the travel maniacs going to Sese Island. Why? People want to move away from
town,
and people have the money to spend. So.
But how do we tap in
about
that money?
You say it's about diversification. You're going to enjoy the music, but then at the end of the day, you're going to do a game drive, you're going to see wildlife, you're going to see this and that. When you look at the different facilities today, go to Uganda Wildlife Education Center, for instance, the zoo. It was about coming and seeing animals. Today they have diversified the product. There's accommodation, you can sleep over. There's a bar. Yes. You can do a boat ride. You can go and participate in behind the scenes. So all these, I know that to interests abantu bagala kulya pate. Ugandans.
We're still talking about domestic tourism, and we're still going around. Mr. Sempebwa, just a few weeks ago, I saw the Lord Mayor of Kampala giving you this this monumental car. This is the late Bendicto Chiwanuka's car, the first Prime Minister of Uganda, and the way you see it, our good viewer, this was. It was the car of that day, back in the ages, to get this was a top class. Such a thing, what does it mean to you who actually owns it and it's in your custody here?
First of all, let me place a caveat that I saw the Lord Mayor on your TV taking over whatever was left when Benedicto Kiwanuka's house was put down. I was in my house, I said, oh my God, where are they taking this beauty? So I called him. Thanks to him, he didn't ask me which part are you, where. He said, give me that thing. I'm going to protect it. And whatever money I'll save, God willing, I'm going to repair it with time. It will cost about 120, 100 million shillings. But with God on my side, we'll repair this beauty. The point here is that we have stories. They are all over us. But our people have not yet learned how to turn those stories into money. Let me give you a very simple example. Queen of Katwe. Queen of Katwe was acted here in Makindye. There's a place where guys go and play chess, but they are broke and they're yawning. Meanwhile, Mzungus are just, and everybody who's interested in film is just going around Makindye. There's no effort to drive people to that place where Queen of Katwe was. So we need to educate ourselves, Ugandans, on how to convert our stories into business.
I hear you.
And that is one of the reasons I set this up, that go and research. It took me 3 years and 40 books.
Wow.
And about 300 interviews recorded to come up with this.
Wow.
First, research about your place. Enclose it, put up some monuments, put up some paintings. I have a whole garage there full of artifacts from all over. Then start charging money. Once you have something unique that nobody else has, trust me, you're going to make that money. If you need help, there is an institution called Uganda Tourism Board. Come and tell us your story. That, you know what, I stay near this place, but my grandfather used to tell me, but this is where Amin did this. He said, what? We'll come and visit and teach you how to convert. A good example where me and Eric went on our tours. We went to Mukono one day. We asked the locals, hey, what's here? You know what's happened? He said, hey, Hamukasa. What's there? So we went there. Hamukasa's family includes the minister. Remember, we found him there, Ham. Very educated.
Yes.
But not very informed about tourism. So we told them, guys, get out of your house. Give us 2 hours. We got their photos, arranged them in the sitting room like this.
Yes.
Told them, now come and see. They cried.
Wow.
There is a story in their small sitting room about Hamukasa, about how the Uganda anthem was developed. Then they had an old car like this in the compound, a Dodge. I told the biggest son, Kasede, Kasede, you know what? This thing here, if you restore it, you're going to charge 10K for guys to take a ride.
Yeah.
And I'm happy that they listened, they put up a monument for their great dad, Hamukasa, and you can go to Mukono and listen to how the Uganda Museum was formed. It was formed in that house. So everybody who has a story anywhere,
there is a lot.
and there's story, even NTV, you have stories.
Absolutely.
But I think to add on to what he's saying, you see, if I would challenge you, how many museums do you have in Uganda?
We actually have one.
No.
It is the one I knew, because I'm just like any other. Should I lie here like I know 10?
You shouldn't.
I know one.
But you see, people know the Uganda Museum on Kira Road.
Yes.
Now, this is, say, the second one you're saying.
Yes.
But we have, I think, over 40
There are
community, over 40 community museums in the whole country.
Wow.
Why? These museums help us preserve the heritage. Our unique being. Every culture has a unique being.
Yeah. I hear you.
Buganda. Now, I'm feeling the bit of Buganda and Central Uganda. Karamojongs have museums. But what makes it unique? It's the story behind these museums. Today, the world is changing. We're moving away from the tradition to the modern era. But then people need to follow up and trace their origin to where they are right now.
How do we interest Ugandans to get into domestic tourism? Yes, there is all this mambo jumbo. People don't want to go. People want to drink in the bars. They have their bridal shower. Can we switch from drinking with the boys to traveling with the boys?
There's nothing wrong with a good drink.
Yes.
But
You can drink it in the wild.
thanks to the breweries, there is a drink everywhere you go. There's internet everywhere you go.
Yeah.
So, the promotion part is what has been, and Amos Wekesa and
Amos opened the can of a few days ago.
yeah. The man is right. The man is right. There is a lot of room for improvement in promoting domestic tourism. Honorable Kiwanda is also right. He's come up with something called Tulambule. All these initiatives, with the time as they increase, the private sector initiatives. See, government policy is that we don't do business. UTB can't put up a package and say, guys, this week, pay here 90K, we go. The private sector, it is you to take this initiative. For us, we have the information.
Yeah.
We'll tell you, here, there is this side, there is this side. We even advise you on pricing. Come up, try. Come up with some packages. We have social media today.
Which is now taxed. OTT. Mr. Sempe, we're not together. Social media tax was
a tool. Social media. You guys are lucky. You're young. When we grew up, there was no social media. If I wanted to see a friend in Muyenga, I would board a taxi down the road and go. Now, if you bounced, you'd leave a note.
I was there.
Benching. Makere, there used to be something called benching. It's just, I don't know. I've not been to Makere in a while. When I left in 97, 8 there, I don't remember. I'm too old now. Now, we used to go room to room benching. We didn't have these gadgets. Now, this is the future. This tool here is going to be very critical in tourism, because you come up with a package, you may not afford the rates of NTV, you know, and if NTV also can have some small rates for.
Mr. Sempewa, as we're still having this conversation, there is something I need to bring you up to speed. Here we have this. This was, of course, slavery. I agree.
No, this is not just slavery. This place is called Mutundwe.
Yes.
Mutundwe is a word coined from the word Mugene Mutundiwe, when the slave traders came in here, they used to buy slaves from the king. But only for us were different. The slaves they were taking were criminals, people we had captured elsewhere, etc. They never came to your home and grabbed you like the Nigerians, etc. So the Arabs set up the hill.
Mutundu was a market.
A slave market. Mugende Mutundo. So this is to symbolize where we are. Mutundwe, Mugende Mutundi.
You better come up here.
So this is what it means. What it means. To symbolize where we are.
This is Mutundwe. Mugende Mutundwe.
It was a slave market. Yeah, so here we tell students about slave trade and the impact of Arabs, Ahmed bin Ibrahim, Tipu Tipu, Slave bin Amir. You see, for a student to listen to a teacher, there was this guy, it's not enough.
This brings it in perspective.
Teachers have told me, those who have brought their students here, that the marks already, we're here 2 months, but in the tests they've done so far, those the schools that have come here, performance in history related to things which has improved. Because this kid will remember what he saw here and what he had. Remember the picture. And when they come, we have fridges, we have drinks, we have fun games. That is one way of teaching our people how to...
Well, we're still talking about domestic tourism. Let me bring you up to speed. The people who have the packages, the hotels, the hoteliers and all that, their charges. You know, we as Ugandans, we love to get involved. But the accommodation, Mr. Sempe, well, Eric Intalo will bear with me. We come, they say accommodation is this much, then lunch is a different price. Can we have it all encompassed in one package?
You see, at the same time, me as an economist, I look at things with two forces. There's a supply side, then there's a demand side. On the supply side, we don't have many rooms, and Workers has the figures. When the supply increases, automatically the prices will go down. In Kampala, there's a hotel called Nanjing, and another in Kololo. They now have a package, a unique package, with 3-hour package, 120. Now, we're going to see more of these innovations as the supply increases. I don't want to blame the hoteliers. Their costs of operation are high. The chairperson of the hotel owners, Susan Muhwezi, has a good paper on this. The taxes are so high for the hoteliers. So don't blame hoteliers for the high prices. For now, they're lobbying to cut down the prices.
Should we blame the government policy not giving them enough affordable taxes?
I don't like the word blame. It's called lobby. We shall continue to lobby. What they can change is the service, the quality of service. There are some hotels you go to, and you...
I told you my story.
Truth of the matter, you're talking about quality of service. You see, there are some facilities you go to. Some, not all. But today, I think Jean and Tim are trying to do, the Uganda hotel owners, they're trying to do a good job. Because right now, when I speak, our hotels are divided in different categories. We have budget. We have shoestring. Actually, shoestring. Then we have budget.
Shoestring chitegeza. I want someone to understand. Annie can see me. Yes.
We have the shoestring. We have budget. We have mid-range. We have luxury. Gullu. Chitegeza.
No, kachiri wechiti. Shoestring, middle class, government.
So with all those categories, depends on how much you have. But then look, the thing is, one, they're saying challenges in terms of emisoro. They complain because people have interacted with it, say they pay over 22 taxes. Emisoro minji, you know. At the end of the day, it makes them expensive, you know, and costs of running all these facilities. Then infrastructure is also not the best.
To some areas.
A guy invests his lodge up there in Kidepo. I don't know how many hours to go to Kidepo. Amasanyarazi, you know. Connecting power, you know, water connection and everything. So at the end of the day, it becomes costly. And now, somebody, it's interesting that there's a particular lodge I want to mention. In Bwindi, you're just saying a lodge in Bwindi, to spend there 2 nights. You'd rather go to Dubai
and come back.
And guys would rather opt to go to Dubai, same money, for 5 nights.
Wow.
Air ticket, flight.
Expensive.
So that kind of thing. Otherwise, we're going to lose most of our people going to Mombasa.
I understand. Especially honeymooners. We are always honeymoon yeri Luxembourg. Can we bring it back here?
You know, there's a guy. They sold him a package to Dubai. He spent 2 days being driven in the sun. He comes back with the sand all over his face. No, boss. Sorry, I'm paying for you.
Yes.
We took him to Brevard. Him and his wife, they always go back.
Bambi.
You see, there is a question of awareness.
There
is a question of awareness. You say we are SMEs. The people who are investing in this, we are small.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not speaking as deputy CEO,
as a Ugandan.
as an investor in the sector. I do not have budgets to advertise my museum.
Yes.
It's true. But if we can find a way somehow of making Ugandans aware, there is a guy who works for Bank of Uganda. His name is Alpha. He did a very good retirement lodge, Buvi. So he asked me, John, how can I advertise my thing? He said, do a website. Get a credit card, UBA. Start boosting.
Wow.
Right now,
we're getting there.
We're getting there.
Well, it's also very important for the public to know that, one, domestic tourism is not about national parks. Events that we're going to the beach, people coming and going to the national stadium.
It's key.
You know, when we have these soccer matches, it's about the spending habit.
Yeah. Okay. This conversation is not going to end. These two are good people with conversations with regards to tourism, domestic tourism. At the end of the day, the discussion we have had here, it is very affordable. If you plan well as a Ugandan, and there are packages that we can actually fit in from a different class. Abantu bawansi string, my backpackers, and government. So you and I need to find where do we fit, because at the end of the day, this money comes back in our economy. We've been coming to you live from Gullu Royal Museum. It's in Mutundwe. Fine time. Kids, it's only 3,000, and adults, it's just 5,000 Ugandan shillings.
Semagulu is the royal throne. Now, right now we call it Namulondo, after that baby king Mulondo. But before that, the symbol of power in Buganda was a 3-legged stool.
Oh, yeah.
Called, so again, I'm showing you that, my friend, I know there is...
All right, there. That is all we had for you from Reality on the Ground. It's still morning at 10 TV. It's extremely fun. Let's get back to studio and we have Marlon this again.